Good morning, kids. It's Mr. Agee here. We are here to discuss the Tuesday math lesson that you have. We want to use Cami again. We're going to be using Cami a lot, so you need to practice. And just a refresher, if you still don't have it on your computer, because I haven't seen everyone turn in these assignments yet, you'll need to go into the homeroom page and click on this button here that says Add Cami extension to your Chromebook, and it takes you directly to the page where in this blue button right here, if you don't have it on your computer, it will say Add Cami. But if you do have it on your computer, then it will say Remove from Chrome. Okay, so if it says what mine says here, then you don't need to do anything. You've already got Cami. Um, the way that you're going to access this assignment is you are going to go into the math folder in the week 3 assignments, and you'll go down here to Tuesday Math 2, Module 1, Lesson 9. You open it up, and this button shows up, Open Assignment with Cami. Now, if you want the directions, which say complete the Lesson 9 problem set and submit the assignments by using the Turn In button in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, if time permits, complete the Lesson 9 homework for extra practice in your workbook. Those directions are also recorded here in audio, so you don't have to ever read this for yourself. I give you a recording of these instructions, but you'll use this blue Circle K button to open the assignment with Cami, and it will bring up the document that we are working on. So yours should open up just like mine. And up here, so you'll work on it using all the text, all the software features that they give you in Cami. And when you're finished, all the way down to the end of this page here, it says 35. You'll notice that's different than in your notebook. Um, it After you finish, you'll click this Turn In button right here. That's how you submit the assignment. Okay, when you turn it in, it'll give you a pop-up menu. Just click Turn In when you're finished. Okay, and it will automatically put your name with your assignment. All right, so what are we focused on today? We yesterday and the day before, the last 2 lessons, we focused on the commutative property, which tells us that the order of the factors doesn't matter in a multiplication equation. We're going to change gears a little bit here, and we're going to be looking at how you can um, you can find related facts for multiplication to facts that you already know. One of the things about Eureka Math that's really good is it gives you a lot of different ways to learn a concept. And so we are taking uh, a different approach to learning bigger facts. So if you haven't noticed, the last 2 lessons have been focused on multiplying by 2's and multiplying by 3's. So you've got some practice under your belt multiplying by 2's and 3's now, and I'm not sure you recognized it, but that was kind of the idea. Now they're going to take that knowledge that you have gained and that practice that you've had with the 2's facts and the 3's facts, and they're going to start putting those things together to show you how to do some bigger facts, or at least one way to do bigger facts. That's the thing about math. It's one of the beautiful things that I love about math is that any given problem, there are numerous ways to approach it and solve it. And so the wide variety of differences that we have between us, math allows us to approach problems in the way that we think about them. So Eureka Math does a pretty good job of giving kids exposure to many, many different ways to solve problems. So we're just going to jump right in here. I just want to review some of the features of the Cami platform and model what it looks like to solve some of these problems and send you on your way to do your work. By the way, so far most of you are doing just an absolutely fantastic job. I'm so proud of you, and we just want to keep working hard and try to have a good attitude and be patient with ourselves and each other, and this will turn out just fine. So let's dig in. I'm going to use the text-to-speech feature here to have it read to me, and I'm not sure, I still don't know if you can hear it or not. I'm going to have to ask that question because my computer, in this recording software that I'm using, I'm not sure that it records what the computer is saying. So I'm going to highlight it, and you can trust that it's reading it out loud, and hopefully you've used this feature. Okay, so if you didn't hear the computer read it, which it did, the team organizes soccer balls into 2 rows of 5. Okay, so we're doing the read, draw, write process right now. Okay, I see. I've read and reread this. I see 2 rows of 5, which language automatically tells me these are code words for arrays, 2 rows of 5. So I see it in the picture here. So if I was drawing it myself, I would draw this exact picture. Here's 1 row of 5. Here's another row of 5. Okay, and what can I write there? Well, 5 plus 5. This is how they're showing it to you in repeated adding. Here, Here's another way to look at it, 2 5s. So these two things right here are the same, 5 and 5 and 2 5s. And they put the parentheses around it to show that it's a group. This is one grouping that has 2 rows of 5, okay? And here, this is one grouping, 2 5s right here. So what you would put here is it's a little tricky, and I'll show you how they get to this, okay? But the next sentence in the read, draw, write process. So we've read, we stop at the period, we think about the first sentence, we read again, we'll stop at the period and think about this sentence. The coach adds 3 rows of 5 soccer balls. Okay, so we've got the 2 rows of 5. Now the coach adds 3 more rows of 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3 more rows of 5. Okay, that's interesting. So um, in the numerical representation, they add another group of 3 5s. So you see 5 plus 5 plus 5, all in one group, surrounded by the parentheses. So we've got the first group here, that's these 2 rows of 5 soccer balls, and we've got the second group here, that's these 3 rows of soccer balls that the coach added. So in this equation here, we've got 2 5s, which is what the team organized, and I'm going to go ahead and stick it in there with a text box. Click on that and put 3 5s because the coach added 3 more 5s, right? And so here we've got 2 5s and 3 5s gives us 5 5s. So it's 2 plus 3. So he's adding the numbers here, 2 and 3 represent the number of rows. So 2 and 3 is um, the total number of rows, 5 5s. Now, what this gives us the hint for is this next equation. So how many total 5s are we multiplying? Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 5. So in this equation here, I've got 5 5s. And now we are looking for the total. In this equation here, we're repeated adding. We've got 1 5, 2 5s, 3 5s, 4 5s, 5 5s. We're looking for the total number of items, or the product. And here we've got 5 5s, but it's written differently, 5 times 5, to give us the product. So you could count them by ones. That would take a long time, and I want to discourage you from doing that because it kind of defeats the purpose of what we're doing here. We're practicing multiplying. So we're practicing count by multiples of 5. So the first multiple of 5 is 5, and then 5 more is 10, 15, 20, 25. So in our product here, well, this would be a sum because it's an addition problem. And then down here, just to use the correct vocabulary, this is a product because it is a multiplication problem. So that this would represent the expectation that we're having. Now, I don't want to confuse you too much, But basically, in this equation here, they're giving us a hint to a new property of mathematics, which is called the distributive property. So 5 times 5, you can break up 5 times 5 into two smaller problems, 3 times 5 and 2 times 5. That's called distributing. And we've talked about that word distributing, and we will continue to talk about distributing. But the the language that you use for this property is called the distributive property. So I just wanted to throw it out there and let you hear it so that you're not afraid of those big words, because we will be using them. And as you get older and smarter, we will be developing your ability to use the language of mathematics. And it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing to get smart and to be able to talk in ways that show that you really know what you're doing. All right, moving on. This video is really, it only allows me to do 15 minutes at a time. So I might have to do a second video, we'll see. But what they're doing here is they're showing you a bigger problem, 7 times 2, and you've done times 2 problems before. So they're going to break it up or distribute it into smaller problems. So here we've got 5 times 2 and 2 times 2. So see, here's 5 groups of 2 and 2 groups of 2 for a total of 7 groups of 2. Okay, so this is showing you that you can distribute a 5 and a 2 out of this 7 here. So 5 times 2, you can do a count by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You'll write 10 on this line here, and then 2 groups of 2, 2, 4. 4 on this line here. That's where they get the 10 and the 4. So the 10 comes from 5 times 2. The 4 comes from 2 times 2. And they ask you just for a sum here, which would be 14. So how many times did we do groups of 2 to get 14? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in the end, you've got 7 groups of 2, 7 times 2 to give you 14 total items. And that here again, they distribute. Now this one is tricky. This one is tricky. So they are really skipping ahead in some logic here, and you need an adult to lead you through this, because it might not be the first thing you think of when you think of 9 times 2. So 9 times 2 is really close to 10 times 2, and most of us have learned and practiced counting by tens, and you could do a quick count by tens and do 2 groups. You can hold up your fingers and count if you want. 10, 20. So we know that the total number of items is going to be close to 20, but we've got one less group of 2. So they're actually going to take away a group of 2 here. And so they're assuming that you will understand what to do with 9 times 2 equals blank, and skipping ahead automatically to 10 times 2. The reason they're doing that is because 9 times 2 is very close to 10 times 2, and 10 is a friendly number. My friend 10 will help you understand math, because the basics of our numerical system is a base 10 system. And so thinking about our number system in tens is really helpful as you go, as a strategy, whether you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Thinking about our numbers in tens is something that can be very helpful, and we'll talk about that a lot more this year as well. Okay, I am running out of time, so I would like to end this video and just add on another short video here to get you through the rest of this problem, or this problem set. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm going to post it in as the mini lesson 1, and then I'll post another video as the mini lesson 2. So stay tuned, and when this video ends, click on to the second video that you see for Tuesday.